Welcome to episode 14 of Q&A with Coach. I'm Jason Fitzgerald, and today we're going to talk about how to stay motivated to rehab an injury. Okay, everyone, this is an unfortunate topic, but one that is still really important to talk about. All runners get injured sooner or later. It just kind of comes with the sport. But an injury doesn't have to last forever. You can rehab it aggressively and hopefully get back on the road running as soon as possible. So today, our question is, how do you motivate yourself to continue core and other exercise while recovering from an injury? Now, admittedly, this is really hard. You know, we don't want to rehab an injury. We want to run. We're runners after all, right? So what you really have to remember here is that your long-term health depends on your recovery, on your rehabilitation program. And if you're not aggressive with it, if you're not structured about your rehabilitation program, then ultimately you're not going to get healthy as quickly as you could. You know, I talk sometimes about the try everything, try nothing approach to running. And this is when you try a little bit of this, you try a little bit of that, and you're just sampling. Sampling works great at a party when it comes to hors d'oeuvres, okay? But it's not really helpful when it comes to training for a race or rehabbing an injury, okay? So one of the best ways to stay motivated to actually stick with your cross-training and rehabilitation exercise program as you're recovering from an injury is if you have to get healthy. If you have to get healthy, then you will do your rehab exercises. So let's take me, for example. When I ran the Boston Marathon in 2014, I injured my Achilles in March before the race. Actually, it was February before the race. But I was already registered. I had flights booked. I needed to run that race. And so I knew that I had to get healthy, and I had to get healthy very quickly and then ramp back up to marathon training as soon as possible. So I had a fire lit under me to get healthy. And that's one of the best ways to stay truly motivated because, you know, if you don't have a race coming up, if you have no reason to continue training, or maybe you're just running for fun and it's not really a big deal if you can't run for a month or 2 months or even 6 months, then it's just one of those things that you're really never going to get healthy. It's just going to be a very long process, and ultimately you're going to be on the sidelines for much longer than ultimately you'd like to. So signing up for a race or having a race already scheduled is one of the best ways to stay motivated. The other thing to think about, treat your rehab like you would your training. Every exercise, every piece of cross-training that's in your recovery program should be treated just like a workout, a long run, a lifting session, or anything like that in a normal training program. So if you skip a workout, if you skip a long run, you can't expect to run a personal best in a race, now can you? If you skip your rehab exercises, if you skip cross training, you can't expect to get healthy as quickly as you normally would if you had been consistent with those exercises. Now, I like to call consistency the secret sauce to successful running. Consistency with rehab and when you're healthy prehab is also the secret sauce to getting healthy as quickly as possible. I'll end here with one more quick story from my own experience. When I was in college, I injured I forget at this point what I actually injured. I think it was a minor hamstring or quadricep injury. But I couldn't run. Every time I tried to run, I got sharp pain, so I had to stop. This was in the middle of our indoor track season, and I had trained for about 2.5 months leading up to that season, and I was adamant that I wanted to run some new personal bests in the season. So what did I do? I went to see the athletic trainer, and I got a cross-training schedule from my coach, and I nailed everything to a T. I actually did a lot more than what was on the schedule with the approval of my coach, because it would get me in a better shape. I spent nearly 2 hours in the pool every day, pool running. I did a lot of strength exercises. I went to see the trainer every day. I worked out more when I was injured than when I was healthy, believe it or not. And the results speak for themselves. When I was able to run, just only about 7 or 10 days later, I ran a pretty good time in the 3,000 meters. And then during that season, I ended up running PRs in the mile and the indoor 3K. So cross-training can help you maintain your fitness. It can help speed the recovery process. And of course, your strength exercises are very much needed to help you ultimately get over that injury and prevent it from happening in the future. All right, everyone, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching episode 14 of Q&A with Coach. Do you have a running question? Do you want it answered? Tweet it to me on Twitter. My handle is JasonFitz1, and just use the hashtag RunQuestion so that I can find it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.